Good morning. I wanted to address a question that I received yesterday and wasn't able to get back to the message. So I just wanted to answer it in my own experience and a lot of things that I have read up on. And the question is, I'm eating clean and I'm lifting heavy, but I'm still not growing. Okay. Two things. Well, maybe it's more than two things, but first thing first, you have to make sure that you're eating enough calories in order for the muscle to grow. I'm going to say that again. In order for you to grow muscle, I don't care if it's bicep, tricep, whatever, anything that you're trying to expand, anything you're trying to grow, you want to make sure that you are in a caloric surplus. What that means is you have to be eating more calories than you are burning. Again, you have to be eating more calories than you are burning. So if you're in a gym or you working out, period, home, gym, wherever you at, and if you're burning all these calories, but you don't have enough calories sustained to be left over for the muscle to feed off of, you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow. Because therefore, you're telling your body that you're actually in a caloric deficit. In order for you to be to grow, you have to be in a caloric surplus. Now, say for instance, you're in a caloric surplus, meaning you're eating a lot of calories, right? And you are lifting, but it looks like you are getting fat instead of muscle tone. That's because you're eating a lot of bullshit. Simple. You eat a lot of things that do not belong there. So the muscle don't recognize bullshit. It only knows complex carbs, veggies, and protein. So if you're thinking I'm talking about eating McDonald's, White Castle, anything, your mama's Sunday meals, if you think because you are eating big like that, or you eating a whole little bit of bullshit, you're not you'll get big, you'll get fat, of course. Of course you're gonna gain weight, but you're gonna seem like you're gaining weight everywhere where you really don't want to, and you're gonna start looking. It's a difference than looking curvy and big than just all over the place and big. Choose one. Simple. Choose one. Another thing, you may not be lifting heavy enough. You might be eating all the right foods. You might be eating the right foods, and you might be lifting heavy. Lifting, but you might not be lifting heavy enough. Now listen, say for instance you never squatted a day in your life. So if you be squatting your own body weight, all right, so take for instance myself. If I never lift before, and right now my body weight is 185, no, I'm 182, I think now, right? And if I'm squatting my own body weight, of course, to my body, my legs, tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to feel like, damn, my legs is sore. They really sore. Now, listen to me closely. If I keep doing that over and over and months after months and months and months and months and months and years and months without adding anything else to my body, I'm not going to grow. I'm not going to grow. Know why? Because the simple fact that the body is a creature of habit. So if you're doing something over and over with the same body weight, and then you got to think about it. If you're eating clean and you squat and you working out, you're going to lose some weight. So that means the pounds that you started squatting with your own body weight. If I started at 182 and, at the months and months and I'm eating right, I'm losing my inches, I'm losing some weight, because I'm not lifting heavy, I'm not lifting weights and I'm only doing my own body weight. Eventually, as I lose weight, that means my 182, I'm going down 179, 175. So that means I'm squatting less than what I started with. So you got to make sure, Londa, call me. Don't give me no messages on here. Inbox me or call me. All right. And what you mean? you better. No, I better not do nothing. Call me. All right, now I'm back to what I was saying. Um, so you got to make sure that you are lifting heavy. So if you're lifting your own body weight, your muscles is lying like starting to laugh at you because of the simple fact that she think this gonna challenge me. This ain't no challenge. So therefore, you got to start adding some type of weight. You got to start adding some type of weight. You can't just keep adding the same, having the same body weight, the same thing. You want to make it intense. You want to move it around. You want to make sure that you're hitting all types of angles. But if you're not growing, it's because you're not either eating enough, you're not lifting enough, or you're eating enough and you're lifting, but maybe it's not heavy enough. That muscle have to be under a challenge. It got to be under a challenge. It's not going to grow if it's not under a challenge. So if you see these females and they was like, oh, I did the 30-day squat challenge and look at my butt now. They had some assistance. They had some assistance. It didn't just come from squats, and it didn't just come from just food, because if you doing 30 days of just squats, you might get a little shape, like, maybe, or it depends on how you hit it, it all depends. It all depends. Don't get me wrong. You can look a little different or whatever if you squat and you put it under some intensity or whatever, but from hit little to like boom, they had some assistance. It is, believe me, 2012, 2013, from me having a big bodacious booty, big booty Judy as they used to call me, to losing so much weight from just doing cardio and salads and all that. What I'm saying is, all right, sis, call me. What I'm saying is, you can't think that the body is going to switch like that. So it has to be under a challenge. Listen, if it don't challenge you, it's not going to change you. And I hope that the person, of course, I'm going to save this message, but I hope that the person that sent me the message is listening to this. And if you have any questions, hit me up. I like to answer it on live because maybe somebody else have the question as well, and I don't want to just keep sending the message over and over. Is it better to do cardio first to start losing and then add weights to build muscle? You could do both, and it all depends on who is this? Ebony. Yes, you could do both. Now, just make sure that your cardio is intense. Now, when I was 300 pounds, right? Well, at that time or whatever, I wasn't really working out a lot, and I didn't know. But now that I know the knowledge that I do know, and the knowledge that I've been studying and learning as far as with my clients, because it's still a learning process all the way to the end. It's always going to be a learning experience. But if you're a bigger person, if you came to me, let me tell you what I would do, because I don't want nobody on here like, oh, no, she's telling me wrong. No, let me tell you what I would do and what I would have done when I was heavier. If I knew what I was doing before, instead of me getting so skinny, just doing straight cardio and then trying to build back up, which is okay. But if I knew what I knew now, I would do it like this. So if you're a heavier person, you want to make sure that your cardio is outweighing your lifting. You get me? So you don't want to be just in the gym, like killing weights really, really hell out. Like something you only can do like 8 reps. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you are doing more cardio than you are doing heavy lifting. Now, wherever you want muscle to be bigger, like bulky, like your squats, you want to make sure that you putting that intensity on your squats, and because a lot of women like to lose weight, but they want to try to keep some type of curve. So you want to make sure on that part of your body you are doing squats. And like donkey kicks and lunges and stuff, so that as you come down and you melt your body down from doing all your cardio, you want to make sure that that muscle is being firmed under the fat. So when it do be revealed, it's still growing and it's not looking flat. I hope you understood that. Make sure that you are doing more cardio than you are heavy lifting. Is a difference, because if you are doing just okay, take for instance my powerlifting class. If you watch it, you have some women that's a little heavier, right? But they lifting kind of heavy down here. But I make sure that they have some type of cardio with it, so that as they losing, the muscle is being up under there, being under some type of pressure as at the same time. So also, a person that is heavier, you want to make sure that you are in a caloric deficit, meaning that you want to make sure that you are burning. You want to make sure that you are burning. You want to make sure that you are burning more. You want to make sure you're eating more than you are burning. You want to make sure you're eating less than you are burning. You got me? So if you say, for instance, you taking in 1,500 calories, not saying I don't count calories, but I'm just saying if you eating less, you want to make sure you burning more than that. You understand what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you're not eating more than you are lifting, because that's for somebody that's a smaller and somebody that is trying to lose, somebody that's trying to gain weight. Somebody that's trying to gain weight. So if you are eating more and lifting heavy, you trying to gain. If you are eating less and burning more than what you ate, then you're going to lose. You got me? Ebony, you can definitely call me, inbox me anytime at 5 or before 7, and I'll break it down to you more if you really don't understand what I'm saying. But I gotta go. I just wanted to come on here and say that, because I get that a lot of people that says that, I want to have a flatter stomach, but I want to make this bigger and stuff like that. Anything that you are trying to make bigger, you want to make sure that you add weights. You want to make it big, so you want to put that muscle. Please don't think that if you lift heavy like 3 times that you're going to be. No, it takes time. The muscle, you can grow, I think, 1 inch or 2 inches a month. And I mean, if you could do 3 inches a month, that's because you tackled the shit out of that muscle. You put that muscle so up under a goddamn radar. That muscle, the biggest muscles in your body is your back muscles, your quads, your hamstrings, your quads, your hamstring, your glutes, and your back is the biggest muscles in your body. So you gotta hit them muscles hard. You gotta hit them hard. The smaller groups in your body is your shoulders, your calves, what else? Smaller muscles, your stomach, under there is kind of small. So you want to make sure that you those muscles right there don't need a lot of play. Like, you can hit them, but you ain't really got to be like going really heavy with them, because those are smaller muscles. Bigger muscles again are your back, your hamstrings, your quads, your glutes. Those are muscles. Okay, take for instance, you have some meat. Now I'm trying to give you a visual. So say for instance, you have some liver. Think of livers. Think of steak. You know how thick that muscle is, that meat is, and how tough it is. You can't just go and then just rip it. Like, soon as you buy it from the store, you can't go and just rip that meat, right? So to make that meat tender, what you got to do? Take that hammer thing that, people use, the meat slayer, whatever you call it, and you want to beat it to make it tender. That's the same thing as your muscles, the bigger part of your muscles. You got to beat on that muscle to make it soft and tender, so it can open up, so that you can feed it. That's the reason why you're eating all those meals throughout the day. That's the reason why you're eating all those meals throughout the day. Because the simple fact that you want to get that muscle open. That's why you always say squeeze, get really low. You want to make sure that you hitting that muscle 3 to 4 times, 5 times maybe if you want to. But they need rest, because you need some rest. So when you want getting that muscle to be open, caloric deficit, it makes it. Yes, Ebony. You want to make sure that you squeeze that muscle. You tampering with it every time you work out. That's the purpose. When you just winging it, like you just you squatting heavy and everything. This is another. This is all to the question that I was asked. So if you're squatting really heavy and all that, but you getting really low, like you squatting, right? But you're not going down far enough. You're not, when you come up, you're not squeezing at all. You doing all that. It's going to take harder for you to grow, because you're not really putting that muscle to its capacity. The muscle has to be like, get really, really low so you can stretch. Like I said, you taking that meat, you trying to beat that meat up, right? So we not really taking no piece of thing and hitting our body with it. Of course not. What I mean by beat it up is making sure that you put in that muscle, the muscles under pressure. So when you, let me see. So say for instance, I got this machine right here, right? So when I come up, I want to squeeze at the top. Squeeze. I don't want to do this. See that? And all I'm doing is just going like right there. You want to bring that thing up so that it squeezes up here, so that that muscle is at its capacity each time, all the time. You want to make sure that you putting it under pressure. Squeeze at the top. Hold it at some point, sometime. You want to make sure that you beating that muscle up, so when you're eating these meals throughout the day, you are feeding the muscle and not fat. I hope I answered your question. Let me go.